Quick question, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a rare item in Skyblock? Maybe you think of an item with an exclusive rarity. Maybe it has a little addition on it. Or maybe it was a long fought battle between two players costing them hundreds of hours of time only for one of them to be granted. Yeah, I'll admit that stuff is pretty rare. But I know what you probably didn't think about. An item so rare that it took an entire Minecraft server 2.5 years to drop only one of it. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, what is this item? This is the complete history of the CyclamenDye, Skyblock's most fucked up item. On June 11th, 2019, Hypixel released their own take of an MMORPG based on the popular Minecraft world, Skyblock. Skyblock came with a bunch of custom items, enchants, equipment, skills, a built-in economy, collections, and even leaderboards. Now let me get to the point here. Most of the custom armor sets in the game use the leather armor texture for more customization, so creating armor sets would be nicer for the admins, and would stand out more. Now what the admins forgot about leather armor is that you can dye it with the vanilla dyes provided by flowers. So when the player base saw people with bright blue magma armor, they decided to do it as well. Soon it would be crazy to see some random ass people walking around with their bright red dragon armor sets, and you wish you could look as cool as them. But sadly around November 2019, you couldn't craft dyed armor sets anymore, and the current dyed armor sets became rare. So rare in fact that later on, they were known as their current name today, exotics. These exotics nowadays can be worth billions of coins.
Life could be a dream.
Now this video isn't called the history of exotics now. So let's go in the future 2 years by using this time machine that I definitely, 100%, without a doubt, did not steal from Powliner. Copyright, TM, rights reserved. Alright, let's go. Wait a minute. Dear viewer, are you enjoying this video and haven't hit the subscribe button yet? If so, now is your chance. Click it. Come on, it takes one click, just do it. It's worth it. I get this funny red name, and you get to see this amazing content a lot more. So yeah, click it, please! Oh yeah, great, we're here. Alright, March 1st, 2022. The day that the admins one day thought to themselves, what if we just made our own exotics? So they released dyes. Dyes were funny little colored blobs that, guess what? Dye leather armor! Wait, Sam, isn't that kind of like what the old ones used to do? Shut up, these ones are cooler! The vanilla dyes were obtainable by putting a couple flowers in a crafting table and putting them on armor. These dyes have specific color codes that will dye leather armor to that specific code. Not only that, these dyes are dropped from rare sources, such as sneaky creepers. I can't even remember the last time I stepped foot into the deep caverns, much less killed a sneaky creeper, but a boba can. It was clear that these dyes were rare, exceedingly rare, as the admins put it. But apparently, these dyes weren't rare enough so that they couldn't be dropped within a month or two of the update. The most well-known dye drop in the game, or at least on YouTube, is this Carmine Dye drop by Diana. Anyways, after the first couple months, all the dyes had been dropped multiple times, except for two, at the time considered the two rarest items in the game. We have the Midnight Dye, which was a ludicrously rare dye that was a 1 in 1 million limited time drop from spooky mobs. These spooky mobs spawned rarely, which is why people considered it one of the rarest items in the game, and decided to put it on hold and wait until it was dropped. It wasn't until like 9 months later until people realized the dye was actually bugged to not be able to drop, which meant there was only one item remaining that had been left undropped. The Kudra Mandible, a hunt item created by the former admin Deuces, was dropped on April 18th, 2023. In the year-long hunt for the Kudra Mandible, this item was still obtainable and hadn't been dropped yet. I'm talking about the pinnacle of rarity with unparalleled levels of potential. The one, the only, CyclamenDye! Okay, that was a bit too much. The CyclamenDye was an epic dye released on March 1st of 2022 with all the other dyes. Whilst most dyes at the time were attached to a major part of progression, such as dungeons or fishing, the CyclamenDye stood out on its own entire tier of rarity. Now you may be thinking, Semi, isn't the CyclamenDye that one dye added in the 2024 dye update? Yeah, this one that drops from Crimson Isle mobs. No, this dye was here from day one and everyone completely ignored it. It only got changed in the 2024 update because of how ridiculous the drop rate was. Oh, that's right, I forgot to tell you the drop rate and what it drops from. Get this, it is a 1 in 100 million drop chance. Oh, surely this must be something rare and must be tied to something easy to grind. From mushroom cows! Not just any mushroom cow, though. Normally, when you think mushroom cows, you think of the ones in the Crimson Isle. But if you take a specific look at the bestiary, you will quickly find out that it only drops from these lame mushroom desert ones. The drop rate was so high back in the day, it was too big to fit on the screen, so it was stored as a percentage, meaning you had to take the number and multiply it by 100. So you must be thinking, Semi, if the drop rate is so high, surely the bestiary cap must be something ridiculous. This was clearly going to be one of the rarest items in the game if it was dropped, but it quickly flew under the radar of most Skyblock players. Fun fact, there was only one snapshot of the leaderboard for mushroom cow kills saved on the Wayback Machine on August 19th, 2022. Back then, the only notable players who were grinding for it were Cubix, Yuvco, and some others. A big thank you to whoever made the snapshot. Grinding for this dye consisted of many things, about 21 things to be exact. First, going to the Mushroom Desert, killing these 2 cows over here, then killing these 4 cows over here, then over here, killing these 2 cows, using an aspect of the void, and killing these 2 cows over here, then taking a small stroll only to kill these 2 cows, then suddenly go from living in a jungle to the Grand Canyon, then killing these 2 cows, then being in the desert dimension to then only kill these 2 cows, then quickly teleport up and kill these 2 cows, then teleporting up again and killing these 2 cows, then teleporting up a 3rd time to kill these 2 cows. Yeah, this is kind of dumb, but this was quite literally the only way to grind the CyclamenDye back in the day. Other methods were tried, such as using a Juju shortbow or hype spamming, but since the Crimson Isle had only come out in April, it was really difficult to get your hands on enough mana to pull it off, at least for a beginner. Now that we've introduced some strategies, let's go over the rates, shall we? I'ma be honest, this dye wasn't completely hopeless. If you take into account some very important things, such as looting and magic find, the drop rate of the dye casually decides to plummet to a very respectable level of 1 in 14 million. So after some very accurate testing done by the best mushroom cow grinder in the world, me, I have determined that with melee, you can get about 1600 kills per hour, and with Hyperion, you can get about 2400 kills per hour. It depends if you're really trying or not, but who actually tries to play a video game nowadays? So by taking the drop rate and dividing by kills per hour, we can determine that this dye will take... So back in 2022-2023, it was quite literally a joke. Like, people would post fake-ass videos of them dropping it just to minorly inconvenience some people. In fact, that's how I met my buddy, Outcrow. And it's really funny, because capitalizing off of these fake drops was kind of how I started my channel. Yes, okay, I may or may not have slightly clickbaited you, I'm sorry. This item's history is basically empty, like it's quite literally the rarest item on the server, and no one was doing anything about it. It wasn't until April of 2024 where it happened. On April 9th, 2024, it was a normal day for anyone, unless you live 8 days behind the entire universe. But everything was normal for me. I was just doing Canadian things like drinking hot chocolate at Tim Hortons, when I get a DM from my friend. I then spit out my hot chocolate, because while I was sleeping, someone had actually done it. Someone had actually dropped the CyclamenDye. It was definitely feeling like some Ready Player One copper key odd type shit. Like, that's how rare it was at the time. The forum post blew up of the guy asking how much it was worth because, surprise, surprise, it was a level 54 non. Even though this was one of the rarest moments in Skyblock history, its attention wasn't that present. I mean, it was still there, but not that much. And guess what? This guy's ultimate master plan for quite literally the rarest item in the game was... And he built a cute little statue on his island for it. I sure hope nothing bad will ever happen to it. On August 6th, 2024, that was it. The admins have had enough. They released an update for dyes where almost every single dye in the game was either changed or reworked completely. Along with it brought so many new dyes that there isn't enough time in the universe left to count them all. Like they added the fossil dye, the mocha dye, the archfiend dye, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious do-it-yourself whatchamacallit asparagus dye. And in tragic news, the CyclamenDye, the rarest item in Minecraft, was an empty shell filled with lost hours, hopes, and dreams. So you're probably wondering, where is the first dye now? Well, to answer your question, it's on my island /visit CyclamenDye for free clout. Just kidding! When the update was in alpha, the rumor is that he sold it in Hub 1 for 1 billion coins. Then the dye went to a someone, who went to another someone, then was finally sold to Claro for a price that I should have remembered, but since this video started April 1st of last year, I don't have a fucking clue. As the foraging update draws near, wait, never mind, it's probably released by now. It reminded me of all the countless hours I spent on Skyblock, grinding for an item at the time that I didn't even know if it was possible to drop. Plus all of the other countless other things I've done in this game. It made me remember all of the good times I had in Skyblock, with players, friends, and even family. And even if I didn't fulfill my original dream, maybe the real CyclamenDye was the friends we made along the way.
No.
Most real blooper.
Guys, it can't be serious. That motherfucker.
What is this?
No.
No.